everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Fire Your MD Now. Emphasis now, not tomorrow, not the next day. Now. Fire your MD now. Stop giving him your time. Stop giving him your money. Stop giving him your body. The only time I want you to darken their doors is if you have had a traumatic accident, some type of trauma to your body, or there's a surgical procedure that is 100% absolutely positively necessary. That's what they're good for. That's what they're excellent for, quite frankly. That's the only time you should use them, because remember, they are the Machiavellian ministers of medical mediocrity. Their therapeutics for chronic disease don't work, actually make chronic disease worse. They've lost the war on cancer. And their therapeutics are currently the leading cause of bankruptcy and the leading cause of death. So why the heck would you go to them? Because you don't know there's a difference. I'll tell you a story. Talking to a patient earlier today, and here's the story that she told me. She's on Coumadin, right, which is warfarin, which is rat poison, as a blood thinner, because she went to the emergency room with bad back pain. So she goes to the emergency with bad back pain. What do? Well, instead of, doing an orthopedic exam, putting her body in different positions, telling her to bend over, giving her a little pressure here, lift the legs, put a little pressure there, bend the legs this way, bend the legs that way, do an old-fashioned orthopedic exam, which takes about 15 minutes, and vertical x-ray of the spine. They give her a full-body CT scan. Full-body CT scan. Full-body CT scan. You know how much radiation that gives? Too much. 450, I think, between 400 and 450 times the amount of one chest x-ray, a full-body CT scan, massive amounts of radiation. And what was their diagnosis from the CT scan? There's no problem with the back. But we found a blood clot in your neck. So they put her on Coumadin. And a couple months later, she goes to her general practitioner for something, and he tells her that it's impossible to diagnose a blood clot with a CT scan. So this is what we're up against, complete incompetence. And this is the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. There was a big report in USA Today about 4 months ago. Dr. Wallach, my colleague Dr. Wallach, turned me on to it. Big report that all of this diagnostic testing that's happening everywhere all of the time has worsened outcomes, worsened patient outcomes. Because if you look hard enough, you're going to find something. But if you're stupid and you look hard enough, you're going to find nothing, but you're going to think it's something. For goodness sake, MDs are like blind men in a dark room looking for a black cat that's not there. It is 100% incompetence, almost 100% of the time. And yet we keep doing it because we don't know there's a difference. Well, there are fundamentals, basic fundamentals to human health that I'm going to be talking about in tomorrow night's webinar. To gain access to the Wednesday night webinars, you need a subscription to my website. So go to fireyourmdnow.com, buy a subscription, buy a 1-month subscription. You'll have instant, immediate access to all of my archived webinars, to my live chat sessions, to my live webinars that happen twice a week, Monday nights and Wednesday nights. I have 2 hours of live chat. That's where you just ask me a question in the chat room, and I answer it to the best of my ability. Plus all of my archived information. It's $17 a month. It's a fantastic deal. And tomorrow night's webinar at 8 p.m. Central Time is all about the nuts and bolts, the fundamental nuts and bolts of the holistic method. Basically, in holistic medicine, what we do is support and promote the body's ability to fix itself. And everything that we do is built upon this one fundamental belief. The human body knows how to fix itself. The human body wants to fix itself. This is where we part company with the MDs, because the MDs do not believe that your body does in fact have the ability to fix itself. MDs are trained to believe that once you're sick, you're screwed. You ever noticed why MDs never have medicines that cure anything? I mean, for goodness sake, they can't even cure heartburn, right? They can't do that. They can manage it. with the little purple pill. They can't cure high blood pressure. They can manage it. They can't cure arthritis. They can't cure type 2 diabetes. They can't cure a darn thing. You know, they can cure infectious diseases. That's pretty easy, right? You got pneumonia, you got bronchitis, you got a urinary tract infection. Broad-spectrum antibiotic most of the time will take care of it. They can take care of some infectious disease and actually cure it. But for most chronic diseases, they can't. They don't even know they should just eliminate the word cure from their vocabulary because they never, ever use it. For goodness sake, you know, Oprah's got a big breast cancer scare now. I saw on the news, Oprah admits she had a breast cancer scare. I don't know what that means. It means she's got a stupid MD. For goodness sake, Dr. Oz, don't even get me started on Dr. Oz. But I am not here to cast aspersions. Well, actually, quite frankly, I am here to cast aspersions, but I don't like speaking about people specifically when they're not here to defend themselves. I'll talk about a profession. I'll talk about professional organizations all the time. I'll talk about science. But, you know, I really shouldn't badmouth Dr. Oz when he's not here to defend himself. So, in any event, Oprah gets a health scare, breast cancer health scare, whatever that means. And the problem, of course, with breast cancer is that the MDs have completely let us down, not only just for breast cancer, but for all types of cancer. We have lost the war on cancer because we go to the MDs. We have given to the profession that doesn't know how to cure heartburn almost $1 trillion in cancer research to come up with a cure for cancer. Now, what on God's green earth makes you think that the profession that doesn't even know how to cure heartburn can cure cancer? Well, why would you think that? I mean, why would you think that? If you hired a carpenter to fix a hole in your roof and he couldn't do it, consistently failed to fix the hole in the roof, and every time it rained after he completed his job, it leaked again, would you then hire that guy to build you a brand new house? No, you wouldn't. He'd be gone after the second attempt. Quite frankly, he'd be gone after the first attempt if it was my house. But this is what we do here because we're nuts. Actually, we're not nuts. We've been played. We've been played, and it's been on purpose. We have been played by the pharmaceutical industry, specifically, and the MDs generally speaking, because, you know, the MDs are just stupid and they don't know any better, but it's their responsibility to know better. We trust that our MD knows what's best for us, right? I mean, that's why we pay medical insurance premiums, because we trust that the MD knows what's best for us. But they don't. The MD only knows what they've been trained in, and as it turns out, they're only trained in a very small aspect of medical science, and that aspect of medical science is viewed through filters called reductionism. For goodness sake, you ever gone to the beach and you've had sunglasses on, you know, like they've got the red tint, or they've got the green tint, or they've got the brown tint? And, you know, you leave them on for 2 or 3 hours and you get used to looking at the world through the tint. And you just kind of think that that's the way that things work. That's happened to me a number of times. And then all of a sudden you remember, holy crap, I've got glasses on. You take them off and boom, it's a whole different world, baby. Well, that's exactly what it's like with MDs. Their philosophy of medical training is reductionism. It's based on Newtonian physics. And it only believes in stuff that can be measured. And since nobody's ever dissected the soul out of, you know, a corpse or a body, since nobody's ever shown the soul with an MRI or an X-ray, to the MD it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, then it can have no impact at all on the health or the disease or the unhealth of the body. The MDs, in discounting the existence of the soul, have completely thrown the baby out with the bathwater, and this is why MDs do not believe that the human body can fix itself. Because it's the soul force, from the holistic point of view, that manages everything. It's the soul force, the presence of your soul in the body, that lends to your body all of the intelligence, which keeps everything running behind the scenes, outside of your conscious control all the time. It's the presence of the soul force, the vital force, that allows your body the wisdom to grow itself all by itself from a single-celled organism into the magnificent manifestation of you. But the MDs do not believe that this exists because they're old-fashioned, out-of-it, closed-minded cowards. And I'm choosing my words carefully. So the MD is trained to believe that once you're sick, you're screwed, and that your only option is to march in with symptom-suppressive drugs which control and override the biochemistry of your body and control it. It's communistic. Drug therapy for chronic disease is communism. It is. What do communist dictators do? Try to control everything. They control the education. They control the money. They control everything. They control everything. The media, everything is controlled by the state. Because the state does not believe that the people are smart enough to take care of themselves, right? That's the difference between a communist, country and a democratic country. Democratic country says the people know best. Communist countries say the states know best. Well, MDs say the doctor knows best. Naturopathic doctors say the body knows best. And this is the biggest difference in our two philosophies. So who are you going to trust, God or Pfizer? I want you to think about that long and hard as we're going into the next segment, folks. Who are you going to trust, God or Pfizer Pharmaceutical? You going to trust God or are you going to trust the drug companies? My money goes on God 100% of the time. If you don't believe in, I'm talking about religion. I don't care if you're a Jew, a Christian, a born-again Christian, a Muslim, Mormon, doesn't matter. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the metaphysical existence of God as it interfaces with the health and your beingness of being a human being. And I do health consultations with people all over the world through the internet and through Skype. You do not have to travel to Chicago to get a professional consultation with Dr. Glidden. And most of the time, you don't even need one. Because longevity exists. Because healing is easy. That's why you don't need one. A lot of people want one. Most people don't need one. Because longevity is here to fill that void. Healing is easy. You've got a bone or joint problem, you take the healthy bone and joint pack. You got a heart problem, you take the healthy heart pack. You got a blood sugar problem, you take the blood sugar pack. Got a digestive problem, you take the healthy digestion pack. If you just want health maintenance, you take the healthy start pack. And if you're a sports person, it's the Rebound FX instead of Gatorade. It's that simple. That's the first place to start, plus the diet. Now, there are fundamentals that it's important to understand. I'm a golfer. I love to play golf. And I was having a very difficult time with distance. I just wasn't getting enough distance from my shots, and I couldn't figure out why. And I struggled with it for probably 6 months. Too long, man. I mean, it was too long. I just couldn't get it. I thought I just was going to have to live with it. And I'm out at the driving range one day, and I'm swinging away, and this guy comes up behind me, and he says, "What the hell are you doing?" Just like that, out of the blue. And I said, "Well, I'm doing this one particular golf swing. It's called the Mo Norman Natural Golf Swing." He says, "No, you're not." He says, "I knew Mo Norman. And that isn't even close to what he did." He said, "Well, it's kind of close to what he did. But here's what I want you to do." So he took my arms and he just cocked my wrists. That's all he did. It was just a simple little cock of the wrist. And he said, "Okay, now swing the club like you just did." Boom! 20 more yards just like that. Just like that. It blew my mind. You don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you need help. You need advice from someone who's got a clue. That guy had a clue, right? And this is the same, this is no different with anything else, and specifically when it comes to medicine and fundamentals, especially holistic medicine. Most people don't even know how to spell holistic, let alone know what it means. And what we're trying to do is actualize it, to get grounded in it, so that we understand it and apply it in our day-to-day lives. And it is not hard, folks. It's just simple switch, cock the wrist. There's a simple education that you need to know here, and I'm talking about it tomorrow night. talking about it tomorrow night on my webinar. It's the Wednesday night webinar, so check it out. Go to the website, buy a 1-month subscription. You don't like anything that you see, cancel the subscription. For goodness sake, I'll give you your money back. I will. Just write me an email. Say, that stunk. I want my money back. You got your money back, baby. No problem. But look, you don't know what you don't know. And when it comes to your health and the health of your kids, the health of your family, your brothers and sisters and parents, what you don't know, that little wrist cock that you had no idea of, that'll kill you. If you don't do it right with golf, big deal, 20 yards short. You don't do it right with life, you're dead, Fred. A little bit of knowledge in this arena goes a long, long, long way. So check it out. FireYourMDNow.com is the name of the website. Same name as the radio station. I love this name. We're rolling out the new website in the first week of December, just in time for the holidays. You'll be able to buy Fire Your MD Now bumper stickers, Fire Your MD Now mugs, Fire Your MD Now hats, Fire Your MD Now shirts, and we're going to have a competition to see who can take the best picture of themselves wearing Fire Your MD Now paraphernalia in medical facilities. We still haven't ironed out the details of the contest or what we're going to give as a prize, but it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. The best is yet to come, and we are going to blow the doors off of the studio in 2013, folks. We are taking everything to the next level because people are suffering needlessly. And needlessly. Healing is easy. Nobody knows the fundamentals. Everybody needs to know the fundamentals. And once you learn it, you get that little wrist cock down, baby. Woohoo! 20 more yards, 20 more years. Life is good. Ray, who has a question about diabetes. Ray, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Doc. Thanks for taking my call. I just came back from the golf course just an hour ago. Great sport. But,
yeah.
I've been taking the BTT for a little over a month now, and on your advice, and it consistently raises my blood sugar, and it does it quite a bit, so I just need some advice.
Okay, so do you have type 2 diabetes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so type 2 diabetes is a nutrient deficiency disease, and that was proven in 1957 by an MD, by the way, named Merz. He was able to turn type 2 diabetes on or off in laboratory mice by removing or giving the mineral chromium, right? Chromium. Chromium is a weird little mineral, but it's a mineral nonetheless, like calcium or magnesium or sulfur. And if you, me, or the Pope or anybody else has type 2 diabetes, it's not genetic. It's not. You don't have a bad gene. You don't have a voodoo curse. It's because your body has run out of specific minerals. And the specific minerals that your body needs in order to have healthy blood sugar are not present in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. There's a couple of them, but you need more. You know, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, part of the Healthy Start Pack, is a boilerplate fundamental nutritional product that provides the 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs. Now, you know, if you had a broken bone, you would need more than the boilerplate fundamental stuff, right? You'd need the 90 essential nutrients plus a little bit of extra bone nutrients until the bone heals. It only makes sense. Well, to help your body overcome, get on the other side of, to support and promote the health of your blood sugar, you just need to add a couple of things to into the mix here. So the most economical way to do this, Ray, is with a combination of products called the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. Now, the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack is the Healthy Start Pack plus a bottle of something called Sweeties. And the Sweeties has all of the nutrients that your blood needs to have optimal blood sugar metabolism. So my recommendation, I don't know why I just told you to take the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Maybe I didn't know you were type 2 diabetic, and I apologize if I misled you in any way or if I wasn't listening or I don't know what the heck. But in any event, in order to support and promote the health of the blood in someone who has a definitive diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, the recommendation is 1 Healthy Blood Sugar Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. So just with that simple substitution, just like the wrist cock, right? It's going to make all the difference in your blood sugar. And I have personally witnessed in one of my patients, well, I can't call them patients in Chicago, one of my clients in Chicago, 3 years ago, a 65-year-old woman. She'd had type 2 diabetes for 15 years, I think, a long time, right? She started the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack, and in 2 weeks, the blood sugar has completely normalized. So when you are starting Get the Blood Sugar Back on the Track program, you really need to be diligent about measuring your blood sugars, because that's going to determine how much metformin or insulin you use every day, right? And so if you do want to belly up to the bar here and start the Healthy Blood Sugar program, then God bless you. But make sure that once you jump on that horse, you're measuring your blood sugar numbers regularly every day, because they can come down quite rapidly. And then you're going to need to reduce and then completely discontinue the prescription stuff that you're using in order to manage the blood sugars. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So one more piece of the puzzle, Ray, and I don't know if you're doing it or not, but what you and me and the Pope and everybody else needs to do, we need to fill the nutrient tank up, right, with the proper stuff. So you need a little bit more, right? You need a little bit tweaking here. But in addition to just that little bit more, it would also be prudent for you and me and the Pope and everybody else to stop eating food that's punching holes in our nutritional tank. So especially if you have, a chronic illness like type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure or arthritis or osteoporosis or whatever, it's important that you dial in the dietary discipline, because doing the diet and the supplement program will make the supplement program 10 times more effective. And I just made that number up. It'll make it much more effective. Much, much more effective, because if you're eating the wrong foods, unwittingly eating the wrong foods, and taking the nutritional supplements, it's going to be 3 steps forward with the nutritional supplements and then 2 steps backwards with the bad food. You're going to make some progress, but it's not going to be fast enough to keep you happy. So I would really dial in the complete avoidance of the 10 bad foods. Have you done that?
Yes, I have.
All right, good man. So the only thing left for you, baby, is to just add the sweeties into the mix. So do that and give me a call back in 4 weeks, Ray. I'd love to track the progress live on the air here, okay? All right, Ray, thanks for your call. You're the greatest, man. I appreciate your calling me back. I appreciate the follow-up, but most importantly, I appreciate the trust. Diane is up next. Diane, you have a question about the good food, bad food diet. Thanks for calling, Diane. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. It's great to speak with you.
Yeah.
I actually have a question and a comment. On your list of bad foods, you have skin on baked potatoes and yams. Can you explain that?
Yeah, if you bake a potato, a yam, or a sweet potato, the protein in the skin, when the skin gets crunchy, and that's when everybody likes it, nice crunchy skin on the baked potato or the yam, right? Well, when it gets crunchy like that, the protein that's in the skin turns into a nasty little derivative called a heterocyclic amine. Heterocyclic amine. And heterocyclic amines are carcinogenic. That's not good. Now, that chemical conversion into the bad protein does not happen if the potato is boiled, because it's dependent upon the heat of the oven. Right? If the heat of the oven gets to a certain intensity, the protein flips, makes a chemical conversion into the heterocyclic amine. This does not happen if you boil the potato, the yam, or the sweet potato. So if you boil those tubers, you can eat the whole thing, skin and, the potato. But if you bake it and the skin gets crunchy, if you eat the skins, you're going to be you're going to be dumping carcinogens into the body, and that's never a good idea. So that's the thing about the potato skins. Was there a comment?
And I was going to mention, so if you was to bake your potatoes in a pan and cover them so that the skin didn't get crunchy, you should be okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Or you can microwave them. As long as the skin doesn't get crunchy, you're good, because it's the chemical conversion due to the intense heat. I don't know if it's possible to bake a potato and make the skin not crunchy. I don't know if you can do that. But if you figure out a way to do that, let me know. All right, Diane, thanks so much for listening. Thanks for the call. Join me on the webinar tomorrow night and tell everybody in your world about this radio program. Please, we're spreading the word as far and as wide and as fast as we can. Jim, you're up next with a question, I think, about leg pain. Thanks for calling, Jim. You are live.
Hey, Doc. Good to talk to you. I've been on the Bone and Joint Healthy Start Pack since April. I'm 5'9", 210, and I'm taking 2 of the Healthy Start Packs. I had high blood pressure. I was 185 over 120 for a long time. I had gastric reflux, been on Prilosec for almost 20 years. My knees felt like they were bone on bone. I could hardly walk. I was limping like crazy. So far, my blood pressure is now 99 over 77.
Woohoo!
Yeah, buddy. I feel so much better. The gastric reflux, that went away. I stopped taking the Prilosec the same day I started on the Healthy Start Pack, and I haven't had any trouble at all. And my big question at this point is my knees are getting better, and obviously because everything else seems to be getting better, if I have an absorption problem, it's not total, it might be reduced. But my knees they're getting better, but they're still not where I would have hoped they'd be after 6+ months. And I also have pain in my thigh muscles, mostly in the back, but it's not constant. It comes and goes. I have good days, bad days, and it sort of moves around. It's not in the same spot all the time. And I'm just curious what that might be and what I can do to rectify it.
Well, first of all, Jim, it's party time, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the reflux is gone. I mean, it's gone. The high blood pressure is gone. I mean, that's big stuff, man. I want you to go buy yourself something awesome for Christmas. I mean, that is a big, big, big freaking deal. So don't downplay that. I mean, really, man, that's a gigantic, two giant steps in the right direction. So you really want to, congratulate yourself and do something good for yourself, man, because you deserve it. This is awesome news. Really, really great. And by the way, folks, we don't screen the calls. I have no idea who's calling. I have no idea what anybody's going to say. We get a lot of repeat callers here, right? I don't know if they're going to chew me out. Oh, Dr. Glidden, that stuff, you told me it didn't work. Nobody said that, by the way. We only get good reports here because, like I'm trying to tell you, healing is easy, folks. It's easier than falling off a potato truck. If you knew 1/1,000,000th of what I know about how effective these products can be, there would be 1 million people calling my office right now trying to get this stuff. 1 million people logging onto my website. Gotta get me some of that. Gotta get me some of that. I need some of that. You don't know how much you need this. This is the best thing to happen to medicine since the sterile technique. For goodness sake, this is the best kept secret in medicine. But I digress. All right, so Jim, you just need the wrist cock, baby. You just need a little bit of tweaking here, all right? So the recommendation for bone and joint health specifically is you're doing it right with the Healthy Start Packs, 2 Healthy Start Packs a month. You got to dial in the glucogel dose more appropriately. So you need to divide your body weight by 10, and take that many glucogel capsules a day. So if you're 210 pounds, you need 21 glucogel a day. If you're 180 pounds, you need 18 glucogel a day. If you're 150 pounds, you need 15 glucogel a day, and so forth. So you need to up the ante with the glucogel consumption based upon your body weight, number one. Number two, selenium supplementation is the little wrist cock here that will dramatically increase the effectiveness of the bone and joint repair, selenium supplementation. So, you know, you're probably like right around 200 pounds, right? So I would give you 12 selenium a day if you can afford it. That's 4 bottles a month. That's 4 capsules 3 times a day. Forward breakfast, forward lunch, forward dinner. So up the ante with the selenium, up the ante with the glucogel, and I'm going to bet you 25 cents that weird pain that you're getting in the back of your thigh is related to constipation. I'm going to bet you that on the days that happens, you're having trouble going number 2. So look to see if that's a factor, and if it is, well, we're up against a hard break. Stick around, Jim. I'm going to dial this in a little bit more for you when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, always pop up number 1, and number 1 is a good position. Jim, are you still with us?
Still here, Doc.
All right, good man. So I'm guessing, and this is a guess, there's 2 possibilities here with the leg pain. The first possibility is that it's a simple calcium deficiency, that you're just not absorbing enough of the calcium that you're taking. So the next time that it happens, take an extra dose of calcium right away. Just take an extra ounce of calcium and a little bit of orange juice. A little bit of orange juice. That'll help your body digest it faster, and see if that doesn't make it go away. If it has no effect on it, then look to see if that day when that's happening, you know, right around a little bit, and it would have to be after it's happening. Look to see if you're constipated. Look to see whether or not you've had a healthy bowel movement. Now, if you have not had a healthy bowel movement, then that's probably what's causing that pain. When that's a very interesting phenomenon, actually. Not a lot of people know about this. So the solution, if it is related to constipation, is, of course, stricter adherence to the no gluten thing, man. You got to be 100% gluten-free. You, me, and the Pope, all right? Got to be gluten-free all the time. Now, if you've got that dialed in, and constipation comes rolling into town, then a little shot of espresso or half of a cup of coffee is an excellent laxative. Or what's better is just incorporate 1 apple a day into your program. Eat a whole apple. You don't have to eat the core, but eat the skin. I don't care if it's organic. I don't care what it is. Just pick a nice, tasty apple, and because there's the fiber in an apple, pectin, is almost a perfect fiber for your digestive tract, and that's where the phrase came from, believe it or not. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, because the pectin fiber really goes a long way towards supporting and promoting healthy digestion. So first I would do the calcium thing. Take an extra shot of calcium, see if that makes the leg pain go away. Other than that, just eat an apple a day, baby, and give me a report back. And also give me a report back with how we did with up in the ante with the glucogel and the selenium. And keep up the good work, Jim. Listen, man, I'm telling you what, you are going to be a walking, talking testimonial and an inspiration for everybody in your life. So keep up the good work, man. Open your mouth a little bit more. Lend some CDs. Bring people to the radio station. Bring it to the radio show. Bring people to the webinars. And let's build a giant longevity monster together. I appreciate your call and I appreciate your support. But most importantly, I appreciate your trust. Now go out there and get them, man. Looks like Diane is back with another comment. Diane, welcome back. You're live again.
Yes, Dr. Glidden. I wanted to mention that corn is on your good food list, and from what I understand, it's an insulin spiking. So I didn't know if that was really a good food or not for us.
Well, corn, I'm perfectly okay with corn. The problem with corn is a problem with 2 things. There's genetically modified corn, and that we don't have to label it as such. I think they passed a law in California that requires them to label it as such now. I have to double check that. If any of my callers know about that, call in and let me know. But notwithstanding the GMO issue, the corn syrup in corn is, it's high fructose. But sugar is not the problem. Sugar is not the problem in the human body unless there's a big exposure to sugar. And eating a piece of corn or, some corn on the cob, that's just not going to do it. If eating corn on the cob spikes your blood sugar, then it's not the sugar that's the problem. It's your body's ability to metabolize the sugar that's the problem. And that's a mineral deficiency. So, too much sugar is a bad thing, and that's easy to do in this culture. But one piece of corn on the cob ain't going to do it. If it is doing it, if it is in fact spiking your blood sugar, then you have to look to the mineral deficiencies rather than looking to the corn. Everything, in little amounts is not a bad idea, except for the 10 bad foods. Avoid them completely. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. You've wasted another perfectly good hour. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you tomorrow.